AITA for telling my wife she needs to step it up as a mom for our 6-month-old. Throwaway account here. I know the title sounds bad, but let me explain. This is going to be a long post. About 6 months ago my wife gave birth to our beautiful baby girl, and it was one of the best moments in our lives. My wife was on maternity leave for about 3 months and then went back into work. She was actually supposed to be on maternity leave for a month longer, but decided to go back to work early. This information is important later. My wife and I both work full-time jobs, and currently right now we have a family member who is babysitting her every day. This is during the time when my wife was at home full-time on maternity leave. I noticed after the first month or so that my wife's sister would come over a lot to help her. I didn't think much of it, as I'm sure it was nice to have some help when I wasn't there. Her sister would initially come over maybe once or twice a week, but that radically changed into every single day. Sometimes I would get home and my wife's sister would still be there helping her with the baby. I gently asked if everything was okay, to which my wife dismissed as her just needing help. My wife's sister, on the other hand, pulled me to the side one time and told me that my wife was having a hard time being around the baby, especially when she needs a diaper change, was throwing up, and all the other little messy things babies do. I brushed it off as something that she would get over. This is about 3 months after my wife gave birth. My wife decides she wants to go back to work a month early. And since then, we've both been working full-time with the babysitter coming 4 days a week. This is where I start noticing more about my wife's behavior towards our baby. The few times my wife has changed our daughter's diaper, I could hear her gagging. My wife is a highly sensitive person and get grossed out easily. She hates when people chew with their mouths open. She can't look at anything remotely unsettling before a meal or she'll lose her appetite. We don't own any pets because she thinks animals are gross, etc. These are all things that I didn't think too much about, as everyone has different sensitivity levels. And I thought she knew what she was getting herself into when we both agreed that we wanted kids. Kids are messy and gross sometimes, and I thought she could handle it. She then started asking me to change our daughter's diaper every single time. When my daughter throws up, she expects me to clean it up every single time. Even now when our daughter is crying, she almost ignores her and side glances to me that I should deal with it. I have no problem doing these things, but when I ask her why she can't do it, she says things like poop grosses her out because she doesn't like the smell or the sight of seeing it. This has really started to affect me because our daughter usually wakes up around 3 a.m. for a diaper change, and I am expected every morning to get up and change her when it should be a switch off every other night. It's really starting to affect my work. So a couple nights ago when she woke me up to tell me to change our daughter's diaper, it was around 4 a.m. and I snapped and told her that she needs to step it up as a parent and a mom and help me do these things, as I can't always be the one to do them every single time. I told her that I thought it was weird and immature that she couldn't do the simplest things like changing a diaper. She obviously didn't like that, and she's been giving me cold shoulder since then. How should I approach the situation, and am I the a-hole here? Update. Hey guys, I just want to say I did not think my post would blow up, but I'm glad it did. Thank you to everyone who commented and for those who were understanding and polite about the situation. My wife and I are both first-time parents, so we obviously don't know everything when it comes to parenting, but I am trying to be more understanding of my wife's feelings. One question that a lot of people asked was, why did we have a child when she is so hypersensitive to smells and gross things? To answer that question, we did have multiple conversations on this topic before we had even gotten married, and despite her known sensitivities, she has told me that she wants a family. I did not force or pressure her to have a child with me. We are also both Christian and abide by our faith to have a family. Based on the plethora of comments, saying that my wife might have postpartum depression, thank you. I didn't even realize that might be the case. Just goes to show that this potential phase a mother can go through should be talked about more during the pregnancy phase. I did talk to my wife last night and apologized for my rude attitude a couple nights prior. I also asked her if she would like to go to the doctor to get evaluated for PPD. She agreed, and we're doing a bit better now. As for the diaper changing, I was honest with her in saying that it would be unfair if I was expected to take care of all the messy outcomes of our daughter, especially as she gets older. My wife agreed and said that she will try to help out more in those areas by wearing gloves and a mask. To the top comment, thank you for that advice. And to everyone else, thank you so much for all the help and suggestions.